Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom,
Shalom, family.
family. Hello, I'm Mama Sia,
And I'm Papa Sia.
here to help you get
Get
your
your
life
life.
in this word. Okay, well, welcome
Welcome.
today. We hope
Hallelujah.
everybody is feeling rested and doing great. We're going to get right in it so that, because we got to try to move a little bit faster, but the goal is not to move faster. The goal is to break this word down
Yes.
and make it make sense
Right.
to you. Okay, so we're going to do a quick review. We're going to go through two really quick. Everything was finished. He did it all in 6 days, and then he saved that 7 day. Now he created man in the 6th day, but he saved that 7 day for him. Them first 6 days was created for man, but that
Mm-hmm.
6th day it was created for Yah. It was for him.
Yes.
He blessed it. He made it holy, and he made it the Sabbath day. And he said that we were to honor that Sabbath throughout all generations.
Yes.
The generations ain't stopped. So I don't know why we don't honor the Sabbath. I don't know why we go to church on Sunday when he clearly said that you were to make that 7th day the holy day, to gather a holy assembly, to rest, and to just meditate in the word and study and get your word on that 7th day. It wasn't created for you.
Right.
It was created for him. It's almost like he gave us, it was a tithe,
Yes.
because he gave you 7 days and he said, just give me one of them. And he let you go first. He said, you have yours first. Take the first 6 days. Give me that last one. Okay, I
Yeah.
made them first one for you, but that last one, that's mine.
Yeah.
Get up.
And
Okay.
in return, it's also a gift for us because it gives us a day to rest.
It does. So in
Yeah.
blessing him, he blesses us by
Hallelujah.
giving us a day to rest, because the world has you so busy, 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 busy. Some days you don't have time to breathe, to think. But he set aside that 7th day to rest for us and to rest in his word, make that day holy, not on
And keep your
Sunday.
mind on him. Hallelujah.
Sunday is worship of that sun god.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's in your word, and we're gonna figure that out a little bit later. But that was not the 7th day. Sunday is the first. Sunday is the first day of the week. So I don't know. Understand? If everybody reading the same word, I don't understand. Now, some things I know that everybody's gonna have their own interpretation now, because it's gonna mean different things to everybody. But if he say do 6 days, work hard, and then on the 7th day, how could that change for anybody? I mean, how do we get
Right.
variations of that?
Right.
I mean, that was pretty point blank per. Okay, but anyway, let's keep moving or we won't get through it.
Okay.
It was not for him, it was for him. And then we found out that there was no man until the ground after we went through that. It's like, what? Huh? He said, no man till the ground. And that's because everything was created in the spirit first, remember? And so he causes a mist to go up from the earth and waters the ground, kind of like making clay. Okay? Because what he does next after he waters the ground is forms man of the dust. I had my husband go outside and get some dust of the ground, and I had him moisten it. See what color it is? Can you see that? That ain't white. Hello, darker than I am. But that was the dust of the ground, dirt of the ground. He wet it to make it form like clay. When it's wet, you can kind of form it. You can make it in balls. Remember as a kid, you used to make them little mud pies? Sure did. But I just wanted you to see, this ain't white. Oh, cool. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just trying to keep it 100. Okay? The way he does. All right. Just want you to see. Dust to the ground. He formed a man. Gave him that color. Right there. Okay. Everybody saw that. Anywho, and then he breathes in the man. Now, everything else he created was a living soul once he just spoke it into existence. It came with life already in it. It was flesh already when he spoke it. But man was a little bit different. He formed it with his own hands. He didn't do that with anything else. He spoke to it. But with man, he got down and formed it with his own hands. And man was just dust. It was just a clay model, a dirt model of a man. But then he does something else. He breathes into his nostrils. And then man becomes a living soul and flesh. Okay? And that breath that he breathed into man was his spirit that he was depositing into man, that later gets shut down. Not too much later as we go on, because number 3 is going to talk about the fall of man. Okay, and then he plants a garden, and he puts the man in the garden, and he puts all these trees in here in the garden. One is 3 different types of trees. You got those that are good for food and pleasant to the sight. You have the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which is a very interesting tree because this tree got knowledge, okay? And then we have the tree of life, and that's a very interesting tree because just the name of it implies that this tree has something to do with life. Okay, we're gonna keep going, and then in the he makes 4 rivers. 2 of them has precious stones in them, and the last 2 does not. And then he takes the man, he puts him in the garden to dress it, to keep it, to till it. He gives the man a job. Before he gave him a woman, he ain't got no woman yet, but he got a job. Okay, let that be a revelation to you women. Okay, stop picking them brothers who ain't got no jobs. But anyway, after that, he brings these animals and he gets to name them all. Well, before that, he said it wasn't good the man was alone, so I'm gonna make him help me. And then he goes out and he forms every beast of the field, every fowl of the air. Now I find it interesting that he said he was gonna make him a helpmate, but before he could do that, Adam was out there looking for one. See, that sometimes we get ahead of God's plan and we just try to make some stuff happen, and you just have to wait because when you do that, you're gonna mess up some stuff. It is not gonna work out good for you, and we're gonna find that on. We're gonna get that later when we get to talking about some other things with Sarai and Abraham and the maids and all that. Okay, we're gonna get to say that for later. And so Adam names all the cattle and the beasts of the field and all of that, and then he takes and makes a woman for him. Now notice that when he made the woman, now he had commanded Adam back up in 16 not to eat of that one particular tree. All these other trees you can eat from, but that one with the knowledge of good and evil, he told Adam not to eat from it. Okay, there was no woman yet. And then when the woman is created in 21, 22, he just brought the woman to Adam. He didn't say nothing to her. Did you see anywhere where he said something to her? He said, read 22, man. Read 2 and 22 real quick.
And the rib which Adonai Yahuwah had taken from the man made he a woman and brought her unto the man.
Okay, stop right there. Did he say anything? Anybody hear him say anything? Kurt. Okay, he didn't say, well, why not? Why didn't he tell her not to eat that tree of the knowledge of good and evil? Why didn't he give her the command?
Anything to her.
No, he didn't. But why not? Why not? We're gonna find out later. Okay, let's keep going. And then Adam makes his little decree. Says, "This is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. So man came from this, and woman came from man. Okay, this is where he come from, right here. This him, and I come from him. Okay, right here, out there real. Okay, anyway. And then Adam says he gets a spiritual revelation because he says that you're going to leave your mother and your father and cleave to your wife when he never had a mother. Where'd he get that from? That was spiritual discernment from Yah, okay? And that happens again. We'll see that again when Yeshua asked Peter who they say I am. Okay, let's keep going. And then we discover that they're both naked, but they're not ashamed. Because shame wasn't there. Shame comes from knowing evil. And if you don't know evil, which they didn't because everything was all good, you won't know shame. His glory, they walked around naked and they didn't know they was naked. There was no shame. I mean, look, this is just how we are. Okay? So anyway, now we go to number 3. This is the fall of man. Did it say the fall of man and woman? Did it say that?
No.
It didn't?
Nope.
Okay. It says the fall of who?
Man.
All righty then. Let's go.
Okay. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Adonai Yahuwah had made.
Okay, now subtle. Ooh, subtle means some. It's clever. It's smooth and evil, and it can hide its agenda. It can fool you. It's easily. I should have brought my definitions on that one word, subtle. It's deceptive, basically. Okay, so he was very deceptive. He was more subtle and any other beast that he had made. Okay.
And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath Yahuwah said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Pump your brakes. Brakes.
Pump your brakes.
Yeah, I said bakes. Pump your brakes. Okay, you can know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he said to the woman, we just read that Yah didn't say anything. Okay, and for those of you who are new, Yah is the Hebrew name for God. So you'll hear me say Yah. You'll see in your Bible God. You'll see in your Bible Lord. You'll hear my husband use the Hebrew word Adonai for that. Yahuwah is for Jesus. We just,
for God.
I'm sorry,
Yeshua's
Yeshua's for Jesus. Wait, okay, you done got me all confused.
Yahuwah is the Adonai.
Mm-hmm.
Yah. And Yeshua is Jesus.
Thank you. Okay, for clearing that up for me. Okay, so I just wanted that for the people who might just be watching, like, oh, what's this? I should keep talking about it. In my Bible, it says God. Okay, we just want you to be clear because the world has a lot of things they call God. Okay, but they're not really gods. They're things, but there is a true and living God, and that's who we're talking about. And you'll hear me say Yah for short, Yahuwah if I want to just go all in, but most of the time I'll just say Yah. Anyway, and he said to the woman, did God say that you shall not eat of every tree of God? But God ain't said nothing to her. Who'd he tell that to?
He told that to Adam.
He told that to Adam, the man. Was she even there when he said that?
No.
Was she even created when he said that? She had not
been created.
She had not been created. So why is the serpent coming to her when we just read that he was more subtle, he was more clever than any beast of the field? So if he's so clever, he already knew. He knew that Yah hadn't said that to her. So he up to something.
Mm-hmm.
With his sneaky little subtle deceptive self.
He didn't go to the man who Yah had given the command to.
Yep, he did not go to the man, the one whom Yah had given that command to. He knew who Yah told. Mm-hmm. He knew good and well who Yah said, don't eat of this tree. Okay? So he called his little self being slick.
Right.
By going to the woman. Okay, and let me see, I don't want to give away too much just yet. Okay, he called himself being slick. And then he says, did he tell you not to eat of every tree? Did he say that? No. What did he say you could do? How many trees he say you could eat of?
Every tree in the garden, but not ones in the midst of the garden.
Except one. You can eat out of all these trees, except one. And he knew that too, with his subtle, clever, deceptive self. Okay, so so now he listen to what he's saying to her. And Adam is standing right there. So why he talking to her? I'm going to back that up. I'm going to qualify that in just a minute. But if Adam is standing right there, why is he talking to this woman, the one that God ain't said nothing to? And then he go to her talking about, did God tell you? You. Not you and Adam. He said, did God tell you? Yay. Look here. Hath God said ye? Ye means you. He didn't say, did God say y'all shall not? He said, did God say you? See, he up to something. Look what he doing. Look at his play on these words here. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then he says, of every tree, all of them. He knew which one that he told Adam not to eat. He said, you can eat out of all of them except for one. Okay, keep going.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahuwah has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Okay, hold on. Because first of all, I need to establish something. We have a serpent talking. You better know what a serpent is, right? It's a snake, right? This snake is talking because he said unto the woman. You can't say nothing if you can't talk. So he's talking. Check, did you catch that? We have a talking serpent who just approached the woman with some mess, okay? Because he's trying to trip her up. He's trying to find out something. And then the woman says unto the serpent, we can eat of all the fruit trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said we can't eat it, neither can we touch it, we're going to die. Did he say anything about touching the tree? Okay, so let me ask you a question. If Yah didn't say anything to the woman, where'd she get this knowledge from? About him saying we can't eat it, we can't touch it, we're going to die. Where'd she get that from? Who told her that? The servant sure didn't tell her that, because he just walked up to her and started talking. And we know what he said. So who told her that?
She had to get that from Adam.
She had to get that from Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Adam then said, God said we can't eat.
Or touch it.
Or touch it. But then something else got added. You know, when you do that hearsay stuff, when something gets added, we used to play a game with our kids when they were little. I would start off and whisper something in one of their ears, and then they would have to whisper it in the other person's ear, and then they would have to whisper it into the other child's ear, and it just kept going until we got to the last child, and then we asked that child, okay, what was it that was said? It would be something totally different from what was said at the beginning. So stuff always gets added when you get in hearsay.
Yep.
And so she had to get that from Adam, because now she got something to say to the serpent. What she thinks she know. And she really don't know what she's saying, because you got from hearsay, you just threw some stuff in there talking about, he said we can't touch it. He didn't say that. He said don't eat.
He didn't say touch it.
Okay, but let me. I thought this was also very deep. He said, "Ye shall not eat of it." He talking about this tree. Why didn't he say you shall not eat off it? Why did he say of it? Those are two different meanings, of it and off it. So if it's a tree and it's got so-called fruit on it, as the world keeps saying, this so-called fictitious apple, let me tell you something about Yah. He does not often speak literally. He often speaks symbolically. But he's telling her, he had said, you shall not. He did tell Adam, don't eat of it. Of it instead of off it? That's interesting. Okay, well, let's keep going. Okay, now, number 4.
Okay, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
Okay, what did he just do? If Yah said you will die, here's this clever little snake devil serpent saying you won't. What did he just do, honey?
He called Yah a liar.
He just called Yah a lie. And we all know who God don't lie. He couldn't lie. If he said something that wasn't true, it would have to come true just because he said it. Yep. We know that the devil is the father of lies. And we'll read that later. He's the one that lied. So isn't this ironic? You know, I know another group of people that always project who they are onto another group of people. And let's just break that down a little clearer. I know a group of people who always project who they are onto people who look like me. Kind of like that serpent. Okay, we're going to leave that alone for right now. Just for right now. I'm coming back to that.
Okay.
Anyway.
Number 5.
You shall not surely die. Who he think he is? Y'all created him and all the trees in the garden. How dare he? You shall not. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. For Yahuwah doth know that.
Oh! Go ahead.
For Yahuwah doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Okay, let's stop right there, because it's really starting to get deep here. Okay, God doth know? Oh, who you think he checking? Who he think he correcting? God doth know. See, I like to read this word with attitude, like people would say it to you in conversation, so you can really get that picture. God doth know that in the day you eat thereof, your eyes shall be open. First of all, weren't their eyes already open? Because if their eyes weren't open, they wouldn't be able to see him, would they? They wouldn't be able to see that tree. They wouldn't be able to see nothing. They'd have been blind. They'd have been out there like him. They weren't out there like that. Their eyes were already open. Lie 1. Hold on. And you shall be as gods. They were already like gods. If God made them in his image and his likeness, what were they like? They were like gods. If a cat makes another baby, that cat's going to be in his image that kitten's going to be in his image and in his likeness, right? It's going to be another cat. He's going to have the same attitude, same personality, going to do the same thing that the cat does. If a dog has a puppy, the dog is going to be in his image. He's going to have to, and his likeness. They're going to act alike. They're going to walk alike. They're going to bark alike. They're going to do the same thing alike. So if a God makes another person in his image and in his likeness, would you not be a little mini God? Now, let's not take that out of context and get beside yourself. I ain't saying you God, the God. No, I'm saying you a piece of God. You a little bitty God. Like we have kids, they not us, the adults, they little pieces of us. So they were already gods because he made them in his likeness and in his image, okay? All right, hold on. Knowing good and evil. Interesting. Isn't that the name of the tree? The knowledge of good and evil. Doesn't knowledge mean you know something? Yes, it does. And what is it that they know? What is it that this tree knows? The tree knows good and the tree knows evil. So he says, you shall be like the God. So it is gods that know good and evil. Correct? Okay. A lot of people don't consider Satan, the devil, a god, but he is. The Bible calls him, Yah calls him the God of this world. There's two, the greater and the lesser. The greater created the lesser. You would say, well, why would he create him? For a purpose. Should I tell him the purpose? For choice.
For choice, yeah.
You'll get that later. I'll qualify that later. That was for choice. So you could choose which God you wanted to know and be like. So it's very interesting that you shall be as gods, they already were, and that the gods know good and evil. It just said here, as shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. That's what they know. And that's the name of this tree, the knowledge of good and evil. This tree knows good and evil. This is getting deep, and I hope you have your seatbelts on. Okay, let's go. Number 6.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
Okay, we're going to stop right there. Didn't I tell you that Adam was standing right there with her when this serpent approached her? A lot of people like to think that the serpent caught Eve alone out there in their garden. No. He was right there with her. We just qualified that.
Yeah.
Read that last part, honey.
Okay.
Gave
husband
also.
And gave also unto her husband with her.
Thank you. You can stop right there with her. He was right there with her. So the whole time, Adam's silent. Isn't that interesting? Why is he silent? Why is he not talking to the serpent? Why is he not telling the serpent what God said, since he was the one that God said it to? Why is he quiet when he should be speaking up? But he was opening his mouth speaking up when he should have been quiet, like when he told the woman, because that's where she had to get it from. So why would he tell her that if God didn't tell her that? Why would he think he needed to tell her that? Didn't he know that if God had wanted her to know that command, not to eat off this tree, that he would have told her to? But he didn't. So all you folks who keep saying God told Adam and Eve, no. Stop the cap, as the kids would say, stop the cap. He didn't tell her. He told him. We read it. Come on, y'all. I ain't making this up. You can't read and understand these words, right? Okay. Because if not, I don't know what your problem is. We need to pray for you. Okay? Anyway, he told him, not her. And Adam was standing right there. So when Adam should have shut up, he was running his mouth to Eve, talking about what God said. God said we. Because why would she say that, oh, well, God said we could. See, Adam thought that command was for both of them. It was not. The command was just for him. And we're going to find out why. I'm giving too much away. I should make y'all buy my book. Because all that is in my book. Hold on. Let me get my book right here. The Forbidden Fruit. This is the book that I wrote. It is available at Zula, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. The Forbidden Fruit. We talking about what really happened that day in the garden, and a lot of that I'm telling you right now. What happened? This is what we're going through. And so, if you really wanna, let me tell you why I wrote this book. Because somebody said to me that I was messing with him because he was gay, and not that I'm anti-gay. Don't even. That is not the point. I was just messing with him. We mess with folks because for a whole lot of crazy, silly reasons. But this particular day, he said to me, "God made me this way," and what? And it struck in my head. Now, I done heard this a million and one times over again, and it never bothered me. But this time it bothered me, and I went home and asked Yah. I went in my little bathroom. That's where I usually go to pray because it's quiet. I raised 4 children, and then 12 of everybody else's, and a couple of goats and cats and dogs. Throw them up in there too. But anyway, I went in the bathroom to get some quiet, and I asked Yah, "Did you really make? Were gay people really made that way?" This is what he told me. And this is what he broke down. He took this beginning and broke that mug down to the ground. You can get my book if you want to know the answer. I ain't gonna tell you. No ma'am, no ma'am. Get the book. All right. The Forbidden Fruit by Sandra Cloud. That's who Mama Thea is. Get your book if you want to know the answer. But we breaking this thing down anyway. All right. So where were we?
We were at number 7, getting ready to
Number
start
7,
number
because I
7.
done went all up. Okay, and he gave to her husband with her, and he's sitting there all the time being quiet. Now, why the husband doing all this talking? First of all, Jesus ain't gonna be approaching my husband with a whole lot of conversation, because I'm gonna get all up in that. Especially if my husband wasn't the one that was told something. See, she a woman, and the serpent is a male. So let's just flip that. Some other woman come up talking to Joe. You girl, you better not have more than hello to say to my man. The rest of your conversation better be directed to me. Okay? Oh, it's gonna get ugly real quick. Anybody playing? Okay, cleave to your wife, to your husband. That's what he meant. Keep all them other little hossy-tossy hussies away, and all them little them men who don't respect marriage, and no, you cleave to your wife and to your husband. That's what he meant. Because them little heifers is gonna come, and them disrespectful men is gonna come. I can't tell you how many men has tried to approach me, and it's like, "Oh, I'm married, sweetie." And then you know what the next question would be? "Well, are you happy married?" What? Really? That's how you feel. So if I wasn't happy, then you'd be trying to get in, and they don't care that you're married. They try to get in anyway. That's so disrespectful to me.
Evil people.
Don't do that, because that's karma. When you mess with married people, with married spouses, and that's coming back for you. That is not going to work out good for you in the first place. It's coming back for you. And then people don't love you. Then people are lusting for you. There's a difference between love and lust. Okay, we can get way off, but I'm just saying, you ain't going to approach my man with a whole lot more to say other than, "Hello, how you doing?" And then anything else, I'm going to need you to direct that conversation to me. Okay? Okay. Keep going.
And the eyes of both of them were open.
Okay, whoa. I got to say something here. Okay. First of all, let's back this thing up to 6. And when the woman saw. So that means that there was a time that she didn't saw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she been walking around out here in this garden with this tree out there for about 7 years. If you do your research in other books, it's real revealed that it was 7 years. I find that interesting. See, that number 7 is the number of completion. That's why y'all made that 7th day holy. Okay, now it's been 7 years, and now all of a sudden here comes the serpent. But that tree been out there ever since day 1. That tree been there, and she ain't never seen it. First of all, it wasn't in the category that was pleasant to the eye, good for food. There was 3 categories: pleasant to the eye, good for food, the tree of the knowledge of they pleasant to the eye, and good for food. That was one category of trees. Then the second category was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That tree that knew good and evil. The one that's got this serpent doing the talking for. Why ain't the tree doing his own talking? Maybe he can. Why not? Why can't he talk? Who shut his mouth? Okay. Okay, see, I'm giving a lot
Tree's
away.
got a
The
spokesman.
tree has a spokesperson, the serpent, but they're all one and the same. And this mug is clever. He's deceitful. He has a hidden agenda, and he's able to approach you without revealing what his hidden agenda is. He's being sneaky. He's being deceptive because if he's so clever, he already knew everything that he already asked her. He already knew. But what he was trying to figure out was, did
she
Adam
know?
did
Yeah.
Adam understand that the command was just for him?
Right.
Because if Adam thought the command was for him and for her, then Adam would tell her, which he did, that Yah said we can't eat. That command was just for Adam. I don't know why he felt like he had to do Yah's work. Yah only told him, so why'd you go tell her? Yah said we can't. No. The devil is a lie. Yah said you can't. He didn't tell. Yah could have told her when he made her, girl, don't you eat off this tree. But he didn't tell her that. Why not? Because it was okay for her to eat. But not for him. Because see what happened? She saw that the tree was good for food. Because there was a time it wasn't good for food. So what food is it
Or
already?
pleasant to the eye.
Right, because she been walking around this garden for years with this tree, and it wasn't nothing on there. It wasn't good for food. It wasn't in that category. So now all of a sudden she's seeing that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eye. Remember, it wasn't in that category being good for food or pleasant to the eye. But now all of a sudden she's sawing that it is. I know that was not correct. I'm just trying to make a point. Stay with me. She's sawing that it is. And it's one to be desired. Oh, desire. That sounds like a lustful word, desire. We don't desire food. We desire each other. We desire intimacy, food, desire. That sounds like something that's got you all hot and bothered. Baby, Apple ain't never gonna get me hot and bothered. But let Papa here, Big Papa, get to doing what he do. Oh yeah, hey, now I'm desiring. Okay, you get the point. Okay, good. That's why we got 4 kids. There was some desiring going on. But now all of a sudden, it's a tree desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit. She didn't take off the fruit off the tree. She took of it. Of it means the difference between a part and a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
And she took.
Oh, wait. Hold on. I just want to read something here. Okay, hold on. Let me back that thing up. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Of it. I just wanted to see. I had broke that definition down. Of. The difference between of and off. That's what I'm looking for right now. I should have had that together, but I didn't know we was going there. Okay, hold on. Because I really went in on this book. Okay, I got to keep going a little bit more. Okay, dang. I can't find it, and I don't want to keep wasting our time here. We got to keep moving. Okay, well, he's not saying... okay, she took of the fruit. Now, there's some symbolism going on here. Because first of all, now she's seeing that this tree was good for food. Who desires a tree? Okay, and now it's pleasant to the eye. And she's desiring it to make one wise. So she takes of the fruit, thereof, and did eat. That fruit is symbolic for seed. It's not literal fruit. It wasn't an apple. It was seed. Yah often calls man in his word. He often refers to a man as a tree.
And she gave.
Wait a minute. Don't go there yet. Don't go there. As a tree to okay, I'm trying to do this without giving away too much in this book. But okay, she takes of the fruit and she eats. Did anything happen when she ate?
That's the point I was gonna make.
Oh, okay. All right. You want to make?
Too late. You already made it.
Okay, I need you to come over some because you halfway out the camera. Okay. She takes of the fruit. She eats it. This is not fruit. This is symbolic for seed. And she partakes in this seed. Now, I'm trying not to say too much because, okay. All right.
Let's keep moving.
Okay, keep moving. So nothing happens when she eat. But didn't y'all say that the day of you eat of this tree that you would die? She just ate. Nothing happened. Okay, that's what the serpent was dependent on. He was using her to deceive him because he knew that if she knew anything, it had to come from Adam, that it did not come from God. The reason that it was okay for her to eat of this tree. Now, this is the tree that is of the knowledge of good and evil. So this is not just a tree with roots. This tree is symbolic for something else. I'm going to let that go because if I do, I'm going to reveal the answer to this whole book. And I'm not going to let that 13 years of my life, 7 years of my life go down the drain. Anyway, the point is nothing happened when she ate.
When he ate. Oh, she ate.
When
right.
she ate.
When she ate.
Nothing happened. They didn't die. And so now Adam is thinking that, well, because nothing happened when she ate, and remember the whole time, he ain't opened up his mouth. I could punch him in his face. But anyway, he's thinking that since she ate and nothing happened, I'm going to get the same result. And that's what this clever little serpent was depending on, counting on all the time. He went to her because he wanted to know, did Adam understand that that command was just for him? Because if Adam had understood that command was just for him, he wouldn't have told Eve nothing. And when the serpent approached Eve and asked her, did God tell you? That's what he said, but she too busy being fast and running her mouth about what she thought she knew. She really didn't hear what he said. He asked her, did God come and tell you, my lady, not to eat off this tree? God never came and told her that. God never said a word to her. And so she being fast, as my mama would say, and too busy trying to talk about what she thinks she know, because Adam done said some stuff that he should have shut up and not said. But now it's time for him to be saying some stuff to this stuff. Now her brother wanna be quiet. And see, the serpent's been playing on it all along. He went to her to get to him. Because if Adam knows that that command is just for him, he ain't gonna tell her nothing. But if he doesn't understand that that command is just for him, he gonna tell her it's for her too. And that's what this little clever butt was trying to figure out. And that's what he figured out when he asked her, did y'all tell her? Because if she'd have been listening, she said, no, he didn't tell me, but he told Adam not to eat. But
and
she
that
didn't say
been
that.
The end of the
That would have been
conversation.
the end, okay? But no, she was being fast, honey, running her mouth about what she thought she knew, when she should have been listening. Sometimes we don't listen. We're too busy talking. We got to listen. That's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that you can listen twice as much as you talk. Now, I have to practice that sometimes. Man got that good. He listening. But anyway, so now he has them. He's deceived them because now he know Adam thought that was for him, for her too. Got their little butt. Now he gives it to her, and because nothing happened when he gave it to her, Adam thinking, oh, okay, well maybe God did know, maybe God did lie, maybe God did make a mistake, maybe we won't die. First of all, I don't think they even knew what that was. I don't even think they knew, and I don't even think they knew what gods were, because if they had known what gods were, they would have known that they were already gods. So they didn't even know. So you desiring something that you don't even know, that you already have. And see, that's how the enemy tricks us. He tempts us and tries to offer us something that we already got. But if you don't know you got it, you're going to fall for the bait. You're going to fall for it, just like he tried to tempt Yeshua with everything he already had. He already had all them kingdoms. It was all his. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. And so that's why he didn't fall for the bait. But they didn't know what they had, because knowledge comes from knowing, which they didn't know. It was the serpent that knew, this tree that knew. And this tree is actually the devil. when he got kicked out, he got kicked out. He got put into that tree. I break that stuff down a little bit more in this book. I back it up in this book. I know y'all gonna like, huh? What? Yeah, because see, the devil has the ability to appear as an angel of light. And we're gonna leave that alone because I'm revealing too much. Yeah, I just want you to get the gist of what's going on here. So nothing happened when she ate. Now the serpent has got at her because he thinking he can eat now and he can get the same result. And when he ate, what happened?
Okay, and number 7, and the eyes of them both were open,
Okay.
and they knew that they were naked.
Stop right there. All this time they've been walking around in their garden, they didn't even know they was naked. And now, all of a sudden, when he ate, nothing changed when she ate. It only changed when he did it. Now, their eyes is open. Their eyes is open to something else. Their eyes are open to evil because they already had good.
Right.
See, this tree is symbolic for the devil because this tree knows good and evil. This tree knows good and evil like the gods. There are two gods, the greater and the lesser. Well, we know the greater is the good one. This ain't talking about him. He's the one that gave Adam the commandment not to eat off this tree, of this tree, not off of this tree. And so now that he has done it, now his eyes is open to evil because they already had good. See, the serpent was tempting them with evil. They already had good. He's tempting them with something they won't want. Who would want evil if you knew what evil was? But they didn't know. Because remember I told you before that you have to have the concept and its opposite in order to understand, recognize, or differentiate between either one. You have to have a down to recognize up. You have to have a sad to know happy. You have to have an in to understand out. You see what I'm saying? So you have to have evil in order to understand good, to see it, to recognize it, to be able to differentiate between the two of them. All they had was good.
Yep,
they didn't have good's opposite of evil. So they didn't know, they couldn't recognize the good they had because they didn't have evil. And now that's all he was tempting them. That's all he was offering them was evil. From this tree, from this devil. He was trying to get out this tree. And the only way that he could get out this tree was to get man to go against his creation. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You want to understand what I just said? You better get that book. So once he got Adam to do that, dominion changed hands. So now Adam has gone against his creation. It wasn't, woman wouldn't have went against her creation. And I know y'all trying to figure out what she said. I am not going to give you the answer. It's in this book, The Forbidden Fruit. That's why I'm choosing my words carefully. I want you to understand the scripture to a degree. But I don't want to answer that question for you. What gave people really born that way? You're going to get that book, baby, to understand. That's why I'm choosing my words. So anyway, so he eats, and now all of a sudden, their eyes are open to evil. That's what their eyes are open to. And now they know that they're naked. See, shame comes from knowing evil. I've been saying that all along. Now they know evil. They've been intimate with evil. And now to know is to be intimate with. And now they have been intimate with this tree, and they know evil. That's what their eyes are open to. And now that they know evil, they realize they're naked. But if you know evil, guess what's gone? Good, gone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Everything was all good. And now that Adam has eaten from this tree, dominion has switched hands, and good no longer has dominion. Evil, Hasatan, has dominion.
Abide together.
Nope. They're in opposition together. That's why our spirit is always warring with our flesh. Our flesh, once Adam did what he did, our likeness changed too. It wasn't just Adam's likeness that changed. We were all good in the beginning. And if Adam had eaten off that tree of life, it would have sealed our fate that way for life. That would have been the life that we would have known. All good, no evil at all. But once he did what he did, this book will tell you what he did. Dominion switched hands. And now all we know is evil. That's why before you can even get out of Genesis 6, by the time you get to 7, there's that number again, Yah is destroying the whole world with a flood. Wow. Because now the only thing that could be born into this realm now is evil. So when Adam did what he did, we all became, our likeness changed. Not our image. We kept our image, but the likeness changed. And he's trying to destroy the image too. He's trying to destroy our image of Yah in a whole lot of ways. And I'm not even going to get into that right now because that's just a whole nother conversation. But he is trying to destroy the image too. Because some of us walk around, we look just like we straight out from the pits of hell. Okay? We do. We really do. And I'm going to leave that alone just for now. Okay? Because I ain't scared to deal with no subject. But I'm just trying to stay where we at. So now their eyes is open, and now they're sewing fig leaves together to make themselves aprons. Okay, so everybody's likeness has changed, and now we all are evil. We all have the likeness of the devil. That's why we're always in battle with our spirit. We're warring. These two, good and evil, oppose each other like two magnets. You know how you put them two magnets together and they oppose each other. You can't even push them together. Well, that's the way good and evil does. That's the way good Yah and evil Hasatan. They oppose each other. We have Yah's spirit thanks to Yeshua, because we couldn't hear from his spirit. Our spirit, remember that breath of life that he breathed into us? That got severed when Adam ate of that tree. It got severed. We all turned into evil. Even the animals changed. Everything changed. The nature of every living thing changed. Now those animals that you used to could walk up to, the lions, the tigers, and bears, oh my, that you used to could walk up to and pet. Sorry, I just had to go there. Now they'll eat your head off, eat your head, bite your head. They used to eat grass, just like we were supposed to eat grass. Remember he told us all them fruit trees and the things with seeds and the things that came from seeds and the things that had seeds in them, that was for our meat. That's what the animals ate too, them seeds. Now we eating flesh. We were never created to eat flesh, people. I'm sorry. Now, is it a sin? No, it's not. It's not. But your ease is going to be this when you do. And therefore we have disease. From eating flesh, that was not what he created us to eat. We came from the ground, so we have to eat from the ground, drink from the ground, smoke from the ground. What I say, we're going to leave that alone. We'll get into that a little bit deeper, but another day. But so the nature of everybody changed. Now we all evil. That's why Yeshua said, you have no idea whose spirit you are. Now we got Hasatan's spirit. And so now Yeshua has to be born back in this realm. And now he has to die for us so that our spirit is unsevered. And now we can, it's been dormant. It's been shut off. It's been shut down. And so when he comes back and gives his life for us to redeem us from sin, because now we're all sinners. Every last one of us. All of us. And it's only until Yeshua comes back, give his life, then he redeems us from sin. He redeemed. Now we don't have to pay the price for the sin we do. Now that's not giving you a license to sin. It's not. It's just explaining why people do evil things, because they have the image of Hasatan, the devil. But when Yah comes back, you can choose to believe what he did, and then your spirit becomes awakened again. That's the whole purpose of Pentecost. Their spirit, when he left and had finished his job here after he had died, Pentecost came. The spirit opened up in everybody, and they was out there speaking in tongues. That's the evidence that your spirit is renewed, awakened, when you receive what Yeshua did for you, that he came, died, and rose, went to hell, took back dominion for 3 days, and then he rose. See, because them 3 days that he was gone, he was down in hell taking back dominion. He was kicking much butt. Okay? Taking back power, authority, and dominion from the enemy. And now, if we believe what he did, now we can do the same thing. Now, once our spirit is opened up, has been awakened again from a long sleep, that's what iniquity is. It's the absence of spiritual or moral consciousness. And when Adam did what he did, we all were born in sin and iniquity. We couldn't do right if we wanted to. We couldn't do good if we wanted to. And it's only the people that receive what Yeshua did that now your spirit has come back to life. As we just got out of Pentecost, a holiday, a holy holiday. For those of you, y'all need to get in your word. And well, as we go through this word, you're going to learn these holy holidays. And this is what Yah was telling you to do. He was saying, stop worshiping them holidays of the world and start worshiping the holy holiday. I don't understand how we can say that we love Yah and we have a relationship with Yah, but we don't celebrate any of his holy holidays. That just didn't make sense to me. And see, when I started going through this word for myself, I had a whole lot of questions for the church. Well, why do we go to church on Sunday instead of Saturday? And why do we worship all these pagan holidays? And they pagan holidays. Why we do them and we don't do none that's in this word? Why don't we keep the Sabbath? I didn't understand. I'm like, we all reading the same word, right? I understand these people could have honorary doctorates and some of the stuff you just can't get. I mean, some of this stuff is just self-explanatory right out in your face. I'm like, is they stupid? What are they saying? Oh, something wrong somewhere. Because how do you read that and know that Saturday is not the seventh day and that's the holy day and that's the day you're supposed to go to church? But you hear these people going, Sunday is the holy day. No, the devil is a lie. No, it ain't. You stupid. I'm sorry. What? What you want me to say? It's in the word. Don't get mad at me, child. Anyway, everybody's nature changed. So that's why he said, if you say you ain't got no sin, you a lie, the truth ain't. Yeah, you do. Because if you didn't have no sin, then he could have sent your love behind to die for everybody else. But he couldn't. He had to send somebody who knew no sin. Get it? That means you know some sin. I don't care if you're a pastor, a preacher, a bishop, a pope, a doctor, a lawyer, an Indian dope. Oh, okay. Come back, girl. Come on back. It don't you got sin in you. He said if you say you don't, then you a lie. He said if you say you don't, you a liar. Okay. Anyway, everybody's nature is changed. Yeshua comes back, gives his life. We believe our spirit is brought back to life again. Now we can do good again. Without receiving what Yeshua did, good can't come out you. You can't change. You're going to need to receive what Yeshua did for you in order to change. Now good can come out of you. But it's the more that you love him, the closer you draw to him, the more good that's going to come out of you. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I am so over. We didn't even get to the end of that, but that got good. That got deep. It was a whole lot of nuggets up in there that I needed to break down for you. You might want to play this again and listen to it again. And if you really want to get the answer to that, because the answer to that question is all tied up right there in this verse, in this Genesis 3
and 7.
3 through all the way 3 through 4, all the way. What's the end? What's the last verse in 3:24? That answer to where gay people really born that way is tied up in Genesis 3:1 through 24. That whole third chapter of Genesis. So if you really want to go a little bit deeper, you can buy the book. Like I said, it's available at Barnes and Noble, Zulon, Amazon. You can order it online, and then it'll go a little bit deeper with you on that. But what I was going to talk about today, I was going to talk about something altogether different, but now I feel led to go another way in our conversation today. We're going to talk about loving Yah today. I was going to have a conversation about us loving one another as that so-called Negro, that so-called black man. I don't like using that word. I'd rather use Negro because I'd rather say that than the black, because we ain't black. This is the color of his shirt he got on, and I ain't never seen a man that color. I mean, some of us have gotten close, but I ain't never seen one that color. Really, I haven't. So I don't understand why, they try to put us in two different concepts of black and white. Us being black, and then they define black as being something evil, but then white is defined as being really white and good. Stop the this. But anyway, that's not what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about us loving one another as brother and sister, same skin. Now, all of us ain't kin just because we're the same skin, but I feel the need to talk about us loving Yah. This is the whole point. See, I'm going to put it to you in a way that I hope you can understand it. When you start to fall in love with someone, you first meet them, you get to know them. I just use myself and my husband as an example. When we met, man, I was running away. Nah, I wasn't trying. Girlfriend wasn't looking for no man. No, sir. No, ma'am. She had been divorced, and I had two children, and my head just wasn't there. My head was in doing me and raising them kids. Because see, when you marry, you got to do a lot of compromise. You got to do a lot. You don't get to just focus on you. You got to focus on them too. Everything has to be a compromise. But when I got divorced, I felt free because I was married to an idiot in the first place. But anyway, I felt free to do me. I ain't got to check with nobody. That I can do me and I take care of my kids. So when he came, I was running the other way. And he was chasing the wrong thing anyway. He was chasing them shorts I had on that day. He saw that behind that booty. And that's what he was. So I was running because I didn't expect to be caught out like that. That was supposed to be a girls' day. Men weren't supposed to be involved because if men had ever been involved, I wouldn't have never had on a pair of shorts that was that short. It was just supposed to be me and the girls. But Mr. Thang over here and his friend decided that they wanted to show up unannounced. And so Sister Girl was running because I felt real uncomfortable with them shorts on. But anyway, I was running. But then he began to talk. We began to talk. I began to pick up this word. I'm I'm comparing us to this love relationship with Yah. So once we started to talk, it started to get my attention. Once I started reading the word, it started to get my attention. And the more we talked, the more I started liking him. The more I got into that word, the more I started liking Yah. And then we continued to talk and we realized how much we had in common and where we had come from. And wow, so we talked. You know how you be on the phone all night. 3 o'clock in the morning, you fell asleep. Ain't nobody saying nothing, but you just want to hear the other person breathe because you're starting to really care about this other person. And so you want to spend all your time with them. But when you start to get in your word, then you start really caring about Yah. And you want to spend all your time in this word and talking to him and reading and praying. I mean, it starts to get really, really good. And then you continue in this word, then you start falling in love. I started falling in love with him. And I started singing to him, leaving the answer no, and he started dating me, showing up with flowers, and he's saying all that wonderful stuff, and I started falling in love with Yah. Oh, I started falling in. I started paying my tithes. Oh, I started falling in love. Oh, and then I stopped worshiping Babylonian holidays and started worshiping these holidays, and I continued to just read more and more. And oh, the more I read, and the more I got to know him, and the closer I got to Yah. Oh, the more I fall in love. And then I realized what he had done for my little evil, stinking self, that I was born in evil because of what Adam had did, and no good had come in me. And that's why I would do things like cuss and smoke and drink and commit fornication. Ain't no need to be lying, child. Ain't no need. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. But the more I fell in love with him, that stuff started falling off me. I had no desire to commit fornication. Fornication is having sex without being married. Adultery is being married and having sex with someone else that's not your husband. And he said you shouldn't do that. But the more I began to learn about him and the more I fell in love with Yah through his word and through reading other things and through talking to him and through praying, you could hear him talking back and you could hear him loving you back. And when I would be sad, he would comfort me. And when I couldn't find things, where are my keys? Where's my phone? Where's that shirt? He would show me And the more he would do for me, and when I needed money to pay the bill, he would show up. Checks would just come out the mails and just come out of stuff. And I just continued to fall in love. And when I was sick and didn't feel good, he'd heal me. And the more he did for me, the more I wanted to learn and do for him. And so I began to pay them tithes, and I began to honor that Sabbath. I mean, and it's a sacrifice too. You got to drink from that cup. But that's what you do when you fall in love. You start to sacrifice. You start doing what it is that he needs and what he wants you to do. And he start doing what you need and what you want you to do. That's intimacy. Into me. See. And I look into and meet his needs, and he meet my needs. And the same thing in here. I praise him and worship him, and he blesses me, and I keep his commandments. You know, I don't steal and I don't kill no more. And I honor the Sabbath, and I respect and honor my mother and my father, and I don't lie no more. See, the more you fall in love with him, the more your will begins to line up with his will. And through that, he changes you. It's like a metamorphosis of your life just happens. I mean, you don't cuss no more. You don't drink no more. You don't smoke weed no more. I was doing all that. There ain't no need of me lying to you. I had them little sexy outfits on. And let me tell you something about me. Even though I would wear my little skirts, they would be pretty short sometimes, but you wasn't going to see nothing. I would wear my little top, but you wasn't gonna see no cleavage. I was just gonna go so far, even in the world, honey, because I just wanted to be a woman of class and not of crass. And I thought that class doesn't show anything. And I think it's very crassy when I can see all down in your mountain tops and your big old boobs, and the only thing I can't see is a nipple. And sometimes if you move wrong, I can see that. I said, ooh, that's too much. Even in the world, for me, that was too much. But let's get back on point. I'm sorry if I threw that stick and a few of you dogs was hollering. You know what they call them female dogs anyway, don't you? We're going to leave that alone, okay? Because we're going to leave it alone. But I know we over our time, but I'm talking about falling in love with Yah. The more you read his word, the more you understand who he is, what he did for you, that he loves you in spite of all that wrong stuff that you did, and that he'll forgive you, and that he'll change you, and he'll cleanse you, and he'll bless you, and he'll help you, and he'll help you pay your bills, and he'll cause the blessings to chase you down, and he'll begin to pour out blessings from heaven that you can't even have room to receive. And we begin to live outside of our means now. I'm not where I want to be, but the deeper I go, I'm sure not where I used to be. But the deeper I go and the more I love him, the more of me changes. Do I have some more changing to do? Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Sure do. We all do. And we'll never reach 100% perfection. The only person that could reach perfection and defy this sin suit, what I call it, was Yeshua HaMashiach himself. He was the only one that could get up in this sin suit and not be ruled by his flesh. But the whole point is Yah wants you to have a relationship with him. He don't want you to have religion. He didn't call you to religion. That's what the devil does. He does religion. See, the religion keeps you off the focus. Religion is man-made. It's full of man-made mess. He wants you in relationship by his spirit and in his truth that's only found in this word. And he wants you to know him. He already know you. Baby, he know your thoughts. He can read your mind. He knows how many hairs you got on your head. He knew what you was going to be and do before you ever were born. He knows everything about you. He knows whether you're going to accept what his son did or not. Your name is either in that Lamb's Book of Life or not. Okay, but when you fall in love with him and get to know him, you'll become so grateful that he loved me in spite of myself, that he'll help me even though I still mess up, even though I may fall short sometimes. He forgives me and he cleanses me and he blesses me and he helps me. I pay them tithes and he calls it to come back in. He lets me live above my means. He answers my prayer. He comforts me. He heals me. And the more you fall in love with him, the more your life will change. The more you'll change. And it's about knowing who he is, getting in that word, talking to him. He'll talk back. You got to learn how to listen. It's that still, quiet voice on the inside. It's not an audible voice on the outside. Don't get creepy. It's a still, quiet voice. That spirit, his spirit inside of you. That's where his kingdom is, inside of you. It's not up. It's not down. It's not out there. It's in you. And you'll hear him talk, and he'll say, don't do that. Don't say that. Go and apologize to him. You were very mean. You shouldn't have said that. Because, child, I can cut up. I try not to. But when I do, I'm quick to fix it. Because he'll tell me, you know that wasn't right, right? Yeah, I do. I know. I'm sorry. Forgive me. And then I'll go to them. He'll say, go and ask them to forgive you. Now, he don't want you to be no footstool either. When people continue to hurt you and hurt you and hurt you and hurt you, you ain't supposed to hate them. You're just supposed to walk away, baby. You're just supposed to wipe the dirt off your feet and walk away. And just don't fool with them, because two can't walk together. And when people are mean and nasty, they're not children of the light. They have darkness. And light and dark don't have no fellowship together. So you just forgive them, bless them, and not that way. Bless them in a good way. Pray for them. That's how you know you really forgive somebody, when you can pray for them and ask God to help them. So the more you fall in love with him, the more you know about him, the more you fall in love with him. And then you'll just want to be what he wanted you to be. And that's what he wants. That relationship, that closeness. And the more you talk to him and through your prayers, and the more that you listen, and sometimes you just have to get quiet. He's going to talk in a still, quiet voice. He's not going to be in a lot of loud noise and confusion. You won't be able to hear him. You got to get quiet. And prayer is not begging God for anything. Prayer is reminding him of what he said you already had. But you got to get in his word to know what he said you had. He said, I'll give you this. I'll do that for you. I'll do this for you. So he wants you to honor his Sabbath. He wants you to worship his holy holidays. And he wants you to keep those 10 commandments. And then he wants you to walk in love. That's what he wants. And you got to know him. If you begin to know what he did for you, it'll be quick, and it'll be easy for you to forgive other people. When you realize how much he's forgiving you out of your mess, it'll be so easy for you to forgive them and not have judgment or condemnation for other people, no matter who they are. Because when he done forgave so much of your mess, how you gonna have some judgment and condemnation for some other people in their mess? Mess is mess. We just have different kind of mess. But we don't get to judge other people for their mess. Because it ain't like levels to mess. Oh, well, my mess is not as bad as her mess. Her mess is... Stop the foolishness. Mess is mess. It don't matter. It's all mess. And he'll forgive you. Time and time and time and time again. Because we're going to mess up. We're going to fall short. But it's okay. Don't be guilty and let the devil bring guilt and shame on you for what you did. Ask for forgiveness quickly. Father, I was wrong. Forgive me. And he said, I'll be faithful and just to forgive you for your sins. And then I'll cleanse you from the unrighteousness. After a while, you won't make that same mistake no more. You'll grow from glory to glory. But there's so many mistakes that it's in our human nature. This is why we can't never get them all out. But that's the goal, is to get as many of them out, to get closer and closer and closer to him. Just to know him and get closer to him. So when you get so close, his will becomes your will. And he changes you without struggle, without effort. Because your desires start to change. Just like my desires started to change when I fell in love with Papa over here. I started wanting to please him, wanting to do the things that he needed me to do. And he started wanting to please me and do the things for me that I needed him to do. And that's why we've been able to be together for 32 years, going on 33. Because Yah is the center of this marriage. Yah is the center of our lives. And he leads and directs both of us. We want the same things. We both love Yah. We both enjoy his word and knowing him, getting to know him and loving him. So that's what y'all want. And that's what I'm hoping that we can bring to you with this whole Bible study is to know him. Because once you know him, you'll start to love him. And once you start to love him, your desires it will change. Things about you will start to change with no effort at all. And it's beautiful to be in love. He is love. And there's no greater love affair than this one with y'all. We hope you got something out of that. Once again, I did most of the talking. I'm sorry. This is what I do. I mean, him too, but this part of Genesis, I have just studied and studied and studied. I had to. Y'all had me. So, because he wanted me to write this book. Okay. And so, I just really get passionate about him. And especially this part of Genesis, because I just need us to see something. Because a lot of times we wonder why people are so evil, because they have the likeness of their father, Satan. When you start being good, you're taking on a likeness of your other father. The Father, not the God of this world, but the God of the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of heaven and earth, the God of all creation, the God of all life. That one. When you start to know him, you'll start acting like him too. And you'll stop acting like that other one. That other one don't mean you no good. Yah wants all good for you. All good. So, I hope you got something out of it. I hope it blessed you like it blessed me. How about you? Did you get blessed?
Absolutely. Hallelujah.
Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for going on this journey with me, with this vision that y'all put in my heart to do this. And I asked him to come along with me because I always feel so much stronger when he's by my side. And because he loved me, he takes time out of his day. Okay, I'll come, I'll read, I'll contribute, but I'll let you do your thing. I know that, so for those of you who wonder why she already did that, because y'all put the vision on my heart. Get about my business. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Anyway, hope you enjoyed today. We love you. I am Mama Sia.
I'm Papa Sia.
And we hope we help you get your life in the Word today. And until next Shabbat, Shalom.
Shalom.